It's 2026 and doctors still don't want you to know that you can specifically reduce and shrink your visceral fat. There are 3 simple mechanical rules that you can use to make sure that this happens. And our client Robbie did it in 14 weeks at the age of 52 and Irene in 13 weeks, getting in the best shape of their lives. So in this video, I'm going to give you the exact mechanical rules that attack your visceral fat from both sides, preventing any new fat storage from occurring, as well as burning what's already there. My name is Jack, I'm the founder of Jack Heart Fitness, and we've used this exact protocol on over 1,000 busy men and women that we coach, so let's get straight into it. Firstly, you need to know exactly what you're fighting. Most people think belly fat is just the fat that they can grab. That is not the real problem. The fat that you can pinch is subcutaneous. This is the fat under your skin. The more dangerous fat though is visceral fat. This is the fat stored deep inside your body, around your organs. And this is where most busy parents, professionals, business owners need to wake up. Because visceral fat isn't just about looking worse in photos. It's linked with higher risk of insulin resistance, type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, heart disease, fatty liver, and general inflammation. And this is why so many people feel like they're getting older faster than they should be. They feel tired, they feel sluggish, they lose confidence, and they wake up with no energy. They struggle to focus at work, and they come home with nothing left for their family. And they think they just need more motivation. But here's what most people do not realize. Your belly fat is often not the cause of your life feeling so out of control. It's the receipt of years of stress, low movement, poor sleep, rushed meals, weekend overeating, and telling yourself again and again that you're going to start on Monday. So if you want to shrink it, you do not need just another extreme diet. You need mechanical rules that bring back your body under control. And mechanical rule number 1 is what I call the metabolic morning steps. Most people think that the fastest way to lose body fat is to do running, to do HIIT workouts, or to absolutely destroy themselves in the gym. But that is absolutely not where I would start, because most busy people do not need more punishment. They need consistency, and walking is one of the most underrated fat loss tools because it does not rely on motivation. It does not destroy your joints, it doesn't ruin your recovery, and it's so easy just to repeat every single day. But this is where it gets interesting. When you walk at a moderate pace, your body relies heavily on fat as a fuel source. Whereas when you go harder into running or intense cardio, your body starts using more carbohydrates as fuel. And no, this doesn't mean that running is bad, because I like doing a bit of running as well. Running can be great, but for the person who is busy, stressed, and overworked, with low energy and is already struggling to stay consistent, running usually can just become another reason that they quit. So it can be a nice thing to have, but it's not the foundation that your plan should be built upon. Walking is so different though, because it's repeatable, and repeatable is what gets results. So here's what I want you to do right now. Open up the health app on your phone. Look at your average daily step count over the last month. Not your best day or the day where you walked so much around on holiday, but your actual average. And then what I want you to do is add 1,000 to 2,000 steps per day to that number every single week until you're consistently hitting in between 10 to 12,000 steps per day. This is the range that I've seen consistently work with the over 1,000 busy men and women that I've coached. But here's the game changer. Try and do 50% at least of those steps early in the day, ideally as a fasted morning walk. This can be straight away when you get up, or it can be after your morning gym session. You have a water or a black coffee, you go for a 30 to 60 minute walk, and you get your body moving before the world starts taking from you. The reason behind this is because you've been sleeping overnight, your body is in a fasted state. Your insulin levels are naturally lower. Your body is in a much better position to use stored energy. And more importantly, mentally, you start the day keeping promises to yourself. That is the part most people miss. The metabolic morning steps are not just about calories, they are about identity. When you start your day walking, you tell yourself, I'm back in control. I'm not waiting for motivation. I'm not starting again on Monday. I'm becoming the type of person who does what they said they were going to do. And for busy parents, professionals, business owners, that is really what matters. Because you cannot lead your family, your work, or your life properly if you do not lead yourself first. And this can be customized to everyone. If you're short on time, maybe you just do 20 minutes of walking in the morning and you do another 20 minutes later on. And for those people who really want to take this to the next level and achieve that 1% growth, you can make this more powerful by using intervals. For example, doing 3 minutes of brisk walking, followed by 3 minutes at a normal pace, and repeating this 5 times. This can help even more with adding structure to your day. Walking was one of the biggest game changers for me when I was getting lean. I was working in my office job in London and I was struggling to stay on track. But when I started implementing walks within my day, started parking further away, started walking within my lunch break, and really being consistent with my metabolic morning steps, this is really what helped me shift my identity and get back in control. It wasn't just about getting lean and losing body fat, it was becoming mentally and physically the best version of myself. And now it's just part of my lifestyle and the systems that I have in my life, and is the reason why I'm able to stay in great shape all year round. But walking is only the first part, because you can walk 12,000 steps per day, but if your food is constantly making you hungry, tired, and reactive, you're still gonna end up overeating. And that brings us to mechanical rule number 2, the protein anchor rule. Most people just think they need to eat less to lose body fat, but for busy men and women, that is usually where the problem starts. They skip breakfast, they have a small lunch, they run purely just on coffee all day, they tell themselves they're being good, but then by 6 p.m. they are absolutely starving. They come home from work, the kids are loud, they're tired, the dinner's rushed, the snacks come out, and all of a sudden, the person that thought they had no discipline is standing in the kitchen eating random food they didn't even plan to eat. And then they start thinking, what is wrong with me? But here's what most people don't realize. You did not fail at 9 p.m. because you're weak. You failed at 9 p.m. because you didn't anchor your appetite earlier in the day. This is what protein does. Protein is the anchor and it keeps you full. It protects your muscle, it helps your body burn more calories through digestion, it stabilizes your meals, and most importantly, it gives you control. For your body to change, you don't just need a calorie deficit. You need a calorie deficit that you can actually live with. And this is why protein matters so much. Because the best diet isn't one that just looks impressive on paper. It's the one that you can follow when work is busy, when the kids need you, when you're tired, and when life isn't perfect. So here's the practical protocol to use the protein anchor rule. Every main meal needs a main protein source. Not a sprinkle, not just a little bit, a proper anchor. Make sure you're aiming for 30 to 50 grams of protein at breakfast, 30 to 50 grams of protein at lunch, and 30 to 50 grams of protein in your dinner. And you should always have one high protein snack in your danger window if needed. The danger window for most people is in between 3 and 7 p.m. This is when cravings hit. This is when energy dips. So do not wait until you're starving to try and be disciplined. Put a protein anchor in there before the chaos starts. I could spend a whole nother video going through protein anchor meals that are gonna get you in the best shape of your life. So what I'm gonna do instead is drop a link below in the description where you can download a full list of examples of these meals that are gonna keep you feeling full, energized, and those cravings away. Most people aren't eating too much because they enjoy food too much. They're eating too much because their meals aren't giving them enough control. A bowl of cereal at 8 a.m. is not a breakfast for fat loss. It is a hunger countdown. A small salad with no protein anchor is not discipline. It's setting yourself up to raid the cupboards later on. You do not need to suffer more. You need to structure your nutrition better. Protein is like putting a proper foundation under a house. Most people are trying to decorate the house with supplements, fasting windows, fat burners, and some special detox teas. But the foundation is cracked, and that's when the house comes falling down. Protein fixes that foundation. So over the next 7 days, I want you to pick 2 protein options from the link in the description for your breakfasts, for your lunches, for your dinners, and for your snacks. Make sure you repeat them. Do not chase variety too much just yet. Make sure you're chasing control. Your first job is not to make your diet too exciting. It's to make it reliable and structured. But even if protein is really high, there is another problem. And this is the one that most people do not want to admit, because a lot of the food that they're eating is not just high calorie, it's designed to make them eat even more. And this brings us on to mechanical rule number 3, the UPF swap rule. UPF stands for ultra processed food. And most people will hear that and immediately think, oh, here we go now. You're gonna tell me that I can never eat chocolate or biscuits ever again. And no, that is not what I'm saying. You can and you should still eat the foods that you enjoy. You can still have meals out. You can still eat your family dinners. You can still go on holiday. But here's the part that most people miss. If most of your diet is built on foods that are engineered to make sure that it's easy for you to overeat, stop being surprised when you end up overeating. This is not a character flaw. It's not a lack of motivation. That is the environment doing exactly what it was designed to do. Ultra processed foods are usually easy to chew, low in fiber, low in protein, high in calories, and hyper palatable, fast to eat and easy to keep going back for more. That combination is dangerous for busy people especially, because when you're stressed, tired, and hungry, you do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your environment and your systems. If your kitchen is built like a petrol station, you're going to eat like someone filling up at a petrol station, and then you'll blame your discipline. But the real issue is your environment. Most people just think fat loss is about resisting temptation, but the people who stay lean long term are not constantly resisting temptation. They've just built an environment where they do not need to fight themselves every single night. That is the difference. You're not trying to become someone with unlimited willpower. You are trying to become someone with better systems. So a practical thing you can start doing right from now is use the UPF swap rule. Do not try and remove everything overnight. Swap the foods out specific to you that cause the most damage first. Start with those foods that you eat on autopilot, not the foods that you genuinely enjoy when you're eating out. The random foods, the standing in the kitchen foods, the kids' leftovers, the biscuits with your tea, the crisps after dinner, the cereal at night, the chocolate you didn't even want. Those are the foods that are keeping you stuck. So here's the 3-step process with the UPF swap rule. Step number 1 is identify your top 3 trigger foods. These are the foods that you eat when you're stressed, the foods you struggle to stop eating, the foods that just magically appear when you're tired, and the foods that make you say, I'll start again tomorrow. Step number 2 is to replace them. Do not just remove them. For example, swapping crisps out for popcorn, a chocolate bar for half a chocolate bar with some Greek yogurt, biscuits for a protein bar, sugary cereal for oats with berries, ice cream for high protein ice cream. I'm going to put another guide down below with more example of these food swaps. Make sure you are implementing these consistently and replacing your foods rather than removing them, and then you're not going to feel like you're missing out. This makes it so much easier to stay consistent. Step number 3 is keep planned enjoyment. This is so important. Don't just become weird with your food. Don't say, I can never eat pizza ever again. This is exactly how so many people create the binge and restrict cycle. Instead, plan the pizza, sit down, enjoy it, and then move on. Do not let it become a weekend feast of pizza. Don't let it become a full weekend of binging. Think about the 80-20 rule. 80% of the time, you're eating protein, whole foods, fruit, veg, potatoes, rice, oats, eggs, lean meats, fish, Greek yogurt, and 20% of the time you're eating food you enjoy, meals out, family meals, and social events. But most people have it backwards. They think that they're doing 80-20, but really Monday to Friday is just random snacks and convenience foods. And then Friday to Sunday is full chaos. Then they wonder why their body fat is not moving. So for the next 7 days, pick your top 3 trigger foods. Swap each one for a high protein or high fiber option. Keep one planned enjoyable meal. Stop randomly grazing. Don't eat standing up at the kitchen. Build an environment that supports the type of person that you're becoming. Because the goal isn't to be perfect. The goal is to stop needing Monday to rescue you. So if you want to shrink visceral fat and lose stubborn belly fat in 2026, stop looking for the most extreme plan. Use these 3 mechanical rules: the metabolic morning steps, the protein anchor rule, and the UPF swap rule. Belly fat is not a body problem. It's often a lifestyle control problem. It shows you where your standards have slipped, and it shows where the stress has taken over. But once you rebuild control of your body, you start rebuilding control everywhere else. Your energy comes back, your confidence comes back, your standards come back, and you stop feeling like you're falling short of who you should be. And if you want to understand why you keep on starting again every single Monday, then make sure you watch the video that's popped up on the screen right now, because that will tell you why most people lose the weight but then gain it straight back again. But that's all from me, guys. I'll see you in the next one.